Hello, amazing mothers of America. Welcome to the Mom to Mom Facebook Live program with us today, where we gather every second and fourth Tuesdays at noon Eastern Time. And we listen to wonderful speakers who share their expertise on topics for moms. Thank you for joining with us today. And I am excited to welcome Dr. Frances Ann Bailey. She was born and raised on the Eastern Shore of Virginia and is a Jesus lover, servant of Christ, an ordained minister, international Amazon best-selling author, a podcast host, a TEDx speaker, wife, mother, philanthropist, and an award-winning certified coach and a certified Christian counselor. Besides that, she's also known as a Purpose Zeal Coach, and she is the CEO of Frances Bailey Enterprises, LLC, the founder president of the nonprofit organization Red Door Empowerment, the chancellor of the School Purpose Zeal Academy, and the founder of Live Again Apostolic Ministries, which is a mobile ministry. Welcome, Dr. Bailey. We are happy that you found time to be with us today on the Mom to Mom Facebook Live.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. So honored and humbled.
We've had a chance to visit a little bit before we went live with this, and I'm truly impressed with the things that you have done with your life to serve others and to help others in their journey. And I am very interested in the topic you will be sharing with us today about girl boss entrepreneurship and startups. So I'm going to just turn the time over to you, and you share with us what you'd like us to know about that wonderful opportunity.
Yes. Hello, everyone. Again, as she has said, I am Dr. Frances Ann Bailey. I'm excited to be here. This is something I love talking about as I am a serial entrepreneur. I will be sharing just a brief training about Girl Boss Entrepreneur Startup. And some of these nuggets that I'm going to be sharing came from experience, right? We always want to be a boss. We have this big vision and we know what we want to do. And sometimes you just don't know where to start. And so, therefore, you never produce the business that's inside of you. And so, today, I want to be that catapult for you to help launch you into that next part to being that emergent entrepreneur. So, I am going to be sharing some nuggets. And if you're watching this live and you do have any questions at all, please feel free to put them in the comments. We can address them. Even if I can't see them live, I will address them after the time. Okay, I will be sharing my PowerPoint. And please let me know too in the comments if you can see this. I'm getting that up now. So it looks like it's up. And I'm going to do this from the beginning. So as you know, I am Dr. Frances A. Bailey. I will be the instructor. I'm so used to being an instructor or the training coach or your mentor to get you going into this next part. So we want to talk entrepreneurship. And I always love to say, think about it now, right? The first thing about being an entrepreneur, girl boss, this mother who's watching, is to think about it now. We have so many things going on. I get it, right? I'm a mother, I'm an aunt, I'm a best friend, I'm a sister, I'm a wife. I'm a pastor. I do so many different things, right? And so therefore, I want to think about all of that. And I don't want to think about what the business that I really want to do. I always keep putting that on the back burner, right? That's what I did. I was like, I'll think about it tomorrow. I'll think about it because this thing seemed like it was too big for me, right? So, emergent entrepreneurs, mothers, I know you wear a lot of hats, and I know it seems like the business is too big for you, but you have to think about it now, right? It's never too early to think about what you want to do. So, that's the first thing. Take out a pen, take out a piece of paper, start writing down what are your gifts. If you feel like you're lost, you feel like you're not good at anything, trust me, I know that, right? I've been there. Talk to people who will tell you the truth, right? Or listen to the feedback you just get from a stranger. I remember being in the grocery store and I would hear people say, you just know how to, like, a stranger say, what you just said to me encouraged me. I was just having a bad day and that made me feel better. And it made me realize that I had a gift of encouraging, of exhortation, right? And so I realized that, okay, if I don't do anything else, if I don't make $1 million, if I can encourage someone and that makes their day better, I have a gift. I have something that I didn't know that was there. So I started looking at the gifts I had and realized that was one of the things that helped me with being a life coach. I realized that I could encourage others, I could build them up, I could push them forward. And so therefore now I could launch a business and use that gift of exhortation and to now make money. Right. And so I'll just say, think about your gifts. And if you feel you aren't good at anything, ask someone, what are you seeing me? What gifts do you see I have that I don't have? And then think about the things that you are good at. I am here to be the barrier of the good news. What do others tell you that you're good at? As I kind of just said that, right? Listen to what they have to say about you. And then your why and your mission. This is another big one. After you figure out what your gifts are, you have gotten some feedback, right? You now feel a little bit encouraged. Now think about why you want to start your business. Girl boss entrepreneurs, mothers, I want to always just say this. You want to ensure that your why is really stable. Because if you was already not wanting to think about it, if you was already trying to procrastinate against it, if you was already feeling like you weren't good enough, you don't want to start a business just for money, right? Because you're going to have some months where maybe there's no income. You may have a week where there's maybe no income. And if you started this just specifically because I want to make all the money in the world, the week that you have the bad week is going to be the week that you give up your business. And that's not what we want to happen. So you want to have a stable why. And as an entrepreneur, you are here and you start a business. Your why is to fix a problem. So I want you to think about right now, how can I change something? How am I the problem solver? What do I see around me that I want to see fixed? And if you gave yourself an answer, that's probably where you want to start with entrepreneurship. And I want to be just as specific as this. When I first launched my 501c3, which is now a charity that helped domestic women out of domestic violence relationships, when I first started that, before it was a 501c3, I said, what problem do I want to see fixed? I wanted to see the end of drunk drivers because I fell into a place where I had survived a drunk driving accident, right? And so I said, okay, I'm just going to get some people together and we're going to walk. That's all we did. We just did an annual walk to end drunk driving. I just started with what I had, with the people who wanted to support my mission. That was the problem. As I kept going, the vision became clear. Now I see I can do this. Now I see I can do that. Different people started joining the mission who started giving visibility and started giving me more ideas on what I can do. And so therefore it turned into a whole 501c3 like a year later. But I started with just wanting to fix a problem and everything else came together. So start with what you have. If you don't have the big microphone for your podcast, start with your laptop and your webcam. Okay. If you don't have the funds to pay for the big novel for editing books, start with the journal. Start with an ebook, right? If you can't do the print, start with what you have, and then it will expand. So you want your why to be stable. And then you want a mission statement. This is my favorite part. You don't want a mission statement just for your business. You want a mission statement for yourself, entrepreneur. Yes, you do. Because a lot of times we just work for the mission of the business. And then when the mission of the business, when we're no longer tied to the vision, when we don't want to do it anymore. But what is the mission statement for yourself? What is the purpose? What are your values? What is your passion? What are your beliefs? And I love to point out this mission statement because when you talk about purpose, you talk about what is going to change. That's the whole thing. What is the reasoning for doing this, right? And a lot of times entrepreneurs, emergent, you hear a lot of people give purpose and it kind of all sounds the same, right? You will hear, I'm here to help those walk in their call, or I'm here to help those walk in purpose. And it sounds so neutral. And so as a serial entrepreneur, I realized that I didn't want to be the same. I wanted to be the golden egg. So yes, the whole bottom line of of my business is I help entrepreneurs emerge to the next level. But I didn't want to just say I help them walk in purpose, even though that was the overall. I had value closers. That brings me to the value part. What are value closers? I'm glad you asked. I have at least three of them. They are significant things that set my business apart than others, that tell the client, you're not going to get this anywhere else, right? When you come and you're part of my business and you sign up for something in my business, this is what you're going to get from it. I have three value closers. You want at least 3 to 4. And this is just an example. For mine, I say you're a gain accountability partner, right? So you're not going to come in and you're just going to learn anything my business has had, but now you're going to gain someone who can hold you accountable, or you'll gain a blueprint or a strategy, right? So if you sign up and I'm not the one to take you to the next level, I can give you a blueprint, or I can give you resources to connect to, even if I am not the one who can be your accountability partner. And then another value closer is like a mindset transformation, right? So you have some people say, you know what, I don't need an accountability partner. I don't want anything else. I just need a mindset change, right? So you ensure that you have these value closers, something that they can pick from. If you just give them one thing and they don't need that, right? They're going to turn away from your business. You want to give them options. I can do this, this, or this for you, right? And so you have a better chance of gaining that client. This is the part of expanding. And then you got to be clear on your target audience. I always tell emergent entrepreneurs, I know this is the hardest part because we want to reach everyone, right? We just want them all, especially one in the business. We are just super, super happy. We want everyone, but you have to narrow it down, right? And the more you narrow it down, the better you will reach your target audience. Because I am here to tell you, once you reach your target audience, they will market for you, and then you will reach everyone. Okay, so you just want to narrow it down. The reason why it's so good to have a target audience, because emergent entrepreneurs, when you're starting out and you're going to investors and people who see your vision and they want to help you out, when you have a target audience, you seem clear, you seem stable, right? And it lets them know, I know what I'm going in business for. I am not all over the place. I know who I'm trying to impact. And an investor will feel a whole lot more greater investing in your business because you're clear. And they know that their money is going specifically for a certain purpose, instead of them saying, I don't know where this is going to go, right? When a person invests in your business, it's because they believe in your mission. They believe in your target audience. They believe in your value closures. They believe in your mission statement. And so you want to ensure that you have a clear target audience. And you feel free to take screenshots. Feel free to take pictures of this PowerPoint if you're watching. And again, please put any of your comments, any questions that you may have. And this is another thing, dare to be different. Emergent entrepreneurs, don't be the same. Be the golden egg, right? Find your own lane and passion. And I love to teach this for emerging moms, entrepreneurs. Don't just settle for what your mother did or what grandma did. I understand that there are businesses that can be generational, but then sometimes there may be something in you that may be the different, the one to bring the difference to the family. And so find your own lane, and it's okay to be different. Even occupational wise, all my family worked the same job. And I grew up and said, I wanted to work a different job just because I wanted to be in a different lane. And I became the first entrepreneur in my family because no one had done it. It was very strange. It was like, who wants to be a boss? We all like, do what granddad did, do what grandma did. We left the door open for you. And that was so great. But I realized that it was okay. And as an entrepreneur, you're going to be challenged in the marketplace to be okay. You're going to meet different people. You're going to be constantly being challenged to be different, right? You're going to be coming in contact with different cultures, different backgrounds. And so you have to be able to adapt with other people from different cultures and different viewpoints and different perspectives. So let it start at home, right? So when you get in the marketplace, it's a whole lot easier. It's okay to be different. You can choose a different lane and gain more educational expertise to help you in your field. I wanted to be a life coach, but I didn't just claim to be a self-claimed life coach and promote myself, right? I went and I got certifications. I got actual trainings. And I kept going. I went and I got degrees, right? And one of this last pointers I have here, start local. I know a lot of times we want to get like the the biggest school accreditations, but I actually started at a local community college getting my trainings. And so it saved me a lot of money and I still expanded. So emergent entrepreneurs, look into starting local, see what local funding that they have to get you going. Because once you get going, once you have certain certifications, you'll get certain discounts on, furthering your education. So start local, start where you can get some funding and be different. See, I went a little bit back. So I'm going to go back. Okay. So you want to put it into action. It's time to grow. Emergent entrepreneurs, get a business plan, right? You want to legally form your business. So now you got all these ideas, you know what you want, you got your vision statement, right? You dared to be different. Now you want to legally form your business, right? Get with your state secretary of state, form an LLC, a sole proprietor, or become a 501c3, but you have to be legal. I tell all entrepreneurs in my trainings, if you take in money, you are a business owner, right? And so we want to operate with a level of integrity and character, and we want to become legally formed. So get a business plan. If you have to start with Word, just a great nugget. Microsoft Word has a template that is a business plan. Print it out, fill it in. It'll work for you. Then you can see what you can do with that. Sometimes when you take business plans to banks and you say, hey, I need funding for this, the bank will actually tell you, we need this here and we need that there, we need this here, and they'll tell you what they need, right? And you can go back and do it yourself. Now, if you have the funding, but I know most time emergent entrepreneurs are trying to do this the cheapest way out, the easiest way out. And so you can do it yourself. But if you have the funding, you can invest, in someone that helps you do business startup plans. Okay. You want to do a market analysis and SWOT. See what's around you. And I don't want you to look at the market analysis and get intimidated. I was a coach, right? And they told me, oh, the coaching field is oversaturated. You want to do that? I said, I'm going to be the golden egg. I'm going to do something different. And so I realized, I said, okay, I'll become a coach to start a school to certify coaches, right? And so I realized that wasn't in my market. Where I was born and raised, no one was doing that. And so, analyzing that helped me to become clear on what I needed to do. And that helped me to grow because I didn't have anyone around me doing that same type of business. Okay. I had long-term and short-term goals. You have to have these. You want to challenge the status quo, right? They'll tell you, this is all you can do. This is only how far you will get in this neighborhood, in this area, but you have to challenge the status quo, right? We do want to set realistic goals, but we want to challenge the status quo. Okay. And then elevator pitch. You want to be able that when you talk to someone, a great principle in growing is knowing what you're talking about, right? And sounding like you know what you're talking about. So when you stand in front of an investor that you don't know that may be a millionaire, how are you explaining your business? Are you all over the place? Can you tell them exactly what you're doing? Can you tell them exactly how you're trying to reach? Is your Facebook social media page up? Just in case you don't have the time to explain that to them, you can say, look, I don't have much time, but you can follow me here, right? Do you have graphics? Do you have any type of PR? Sometimes we're at speed networking events and I can't really explain who I am. Sometimes you can say, I have heard them say, can I Google you? Yes, you can. It'll pop up, right? But Google only pulls me up because there's PR, right? There has been public relations. So you want to ensure that you become the local celebrity in your neighborhood, right? You want to get with the radio stations. You want to talk to the local newspaper. You want to get in contact with the government, with the police stations, and you want to get out into the community, support events that don't have anything to do with you, right? Get out there, right? Become a part of the community. That's how your business will grow. And that's on a totally different slide. But one of the greatest ways of growing is collaboration. And that means becoming selfless. I know it seems like entrepreneur, right? We hear it's my business. It's time for me to grow. It's my mission, but it takes a team, right? And entrepreneurship is really selfless. And then you want to have some booking links, right? If someone is telling you, I want to sign up for a course, or I want to sign up. Just what if you're out? You want to be able to give them a link or shoot them a text or send them an email with a link that they can sign up. That if you don't have time to get back with them now, you still have all the information instead of emailing them and saying, hey, can I get this information? Can I get that? But you'll have it all waiting for you just in an email by sharing a link, such as like Jotform, that can help you accumulate information, right? To make it more accessible to your clients and your customers. And you want to get a mentor or a coach, right? Find a coach in the area that you're working on, right? And I have coaches for different things, right? I had an author coach, I had a life coach, I had a business coach, right? I didn't have one coach and just expected them to do everything, right? I found someone who was already doing where I wanted and doing and going where I wanted to go. And I got under their wing, right? So you have to be teachable as an entrepreneur. I know once you get in and you get those first sales rolling in, oh my goodness, you feel like I am the king or the queen at this business, but you still need a coach. You always want to remain teachable. Okay. I always say, let pride go, right? We don't want to say I'm self-made because it self-sabotages in a business, right? And we don't want to self-sabotage our business. And then I also like to share this nugget. You want to gain someone who have experience and wisdom, or both. I like to say this and kind of kill that elephant that's in the room, because a lot of times we hear some people say, you can't tell me unless you did it, right? But if my son, I always use this analogy, if my son walks in the room and he bumps his toe and he says, oh, this hurts. If his sister comes in the room and she's running the exact same way, he can stop her and say, don't do that, because if you do, you're going to bump your toe. I came in from the same angle and it's going to hurt you. So my daughter never bumps her toe. She's still standing. Then grandma comes up and she runs the exact same way. And she says, grandma, stop. You're going to bump your toe, right? Grandma listens to her, but she never had the experience. She just only had the wisdom because the brother shared with her what was going to happen. So I don't want you to miss out on anyone who can share information with you as being a business owner only because you haven't seen them do that. They may have gotten the wisdom from someone and they never had to experience the failure in their business. They never had to experience the drought. And so they may be teaching you without having to experience it. So I wanted you to be able to gain wisdom, experience, or both from a mentor or a coach and remain a student. And closing towards the end, you want to network and collaborate. Don't burn yourself out. I said I have a school, right? Emergent entrepreneurs. Look for someone on a team that's smarter than you in that area. You don't want to have to I always say this, if you're the smartest on your team in that particular area, then what do we need a team for, right? So we want to have different ones. That entrepreneurship is about, building, right? So you want to look for those who can help in the area you're weak in, that can help pull up. So even when I built my school, I realized I couldn't teach it all. So I had different instructors in different areas that could teach things I have no idea about, right? Because I realized that I could not burn myself out. And so I built a team. So build a team, find out what you're doing. If you want to grow and expand, find someone in that area. If you are a school, but you don't do marketing, find someone who does marketing. If you are in the school, but you cannot do a flyer. I could not do a flyer at all. I got a branding coach, right? Someone who specializes in branding. She does all the flyers for the school, right? Even though I could go on, Pick Grid or Photo Grid, and I could type some information in and I could post it and say, hey, I did my own flyer, right? It just wasn't going to do, be what she could do. So you want to build a team. You don't have to do this alone. And be friendly. You don't have to be so much competitive, right? Part of me expanding was being friendly. Being friendly will keep connections, and there's power in agreement and unity. You want to budget. If you're LLC or a corporation, you want to have that employee ID number, right? You want to have a professional website. This is how to build business credit. So once you get into, you don't have to use this right away. I know you are emerging, but I just want to kind of throw these out here so you can have this, right? Part of gaining business credit is you have to have a professional website. They want to see what you're doing, how you've been doing it. That explains your track record and your credibility. And most of them want you to have a corporate email. They want your number listed, right? You need a physical address for your business and a business bank account. So if you don't use your business bank account right away, that's okay. But you want to ensure you have one set up. Why? When you go to networking events, of course, once again, you meet with these professional investors. You don't want to say the name of my business is Red Door Empowerment, but make the check out to me, my name. To them, it says like I'm writing you a personal check, right? You want to be able to say, you can write this check to my business. This is my EIN number. You want to be able to show credibility and some foundation through business. And then once in business, stay in business, right? You want to have character and integrity. You want to keep your strong communication skills. These are the personal developmental skills, right? So you got all your paperwork done, but you don't want to launch business and never stay in business. You want to dodge procrastination. We have to do the work. Business takes work. It does, right? You want to have a clear identity on who you are, having that self-esteem as a business owner, because you're going to have those who are doing the same thing you may be doing. You will have some competition, but you have to be ensured and have the self-esteem that this is the business that I'm called for. Realize no one can stop you but you. Have a motive check. Remember, again, we don't want to just be doing business to make a lot of money. We want to be doing business to solve a problem. And then you want to complete your annual paperwork and your license. This is a big one, right? We want to be in business, but you have to do your paperwork. You have to file your taxes. You have to be honest to include all the income, even the money on Cash App, right? I think they have even made it easier for you to print it out. I think they give you a document now, right? PayPal is a great merchant. It sends you a payout, right? You can take it to your accountant, making sure you're filing all your money, right? And then keep your records. Anything that you may do, have it emailed to you. That way it can stay in an electronic format or anything like that. But once in business, emergent entrepreneurs, we want to stay in business. Now, emergent entrepreneurs, I want you to go and rock it out, because everything you need is already inside of you. Mom entrepreneurs, thank you for this time, for allowing me to share. I hope you all are encouraged and go forth in your business. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you, Dr. Bailey. What an incredible message you shared with us and given us a lot of food for thought. I love the clear outline you provided for emerging entrepreneurs and those who are even thinking about it. I think you gave us a good outline of where we can go. I've run several businesses and you hit every aspect of it. I really liked the first thing that you mentioned was to acknowledge our own personal gifts. And that is critical. And to build from that. And I love the other thing you said a couple times is find the golden egg and let the pride go. Yeah, those are all just really top things that when you were starting a business are critical. And I appreciate your great ideas. How can our listeners connect with you if they'd like more information?
Absolutely. You can connect with me on my website, www.francisanbailey.com, or info@francisanbailey.com.
Okay. So if you have a problem remembering how to spell her name, guess what? It's on the American Mothers Incorporated Facebook page. All right. Now, thank you for joining us. And our next speaker will be on September 10th at noon Eastern. We'll be hearing from Sarah Gowans, who will speak to us about healing your relationship with your body image. I mean, we always have a problem with that, don't we? No matter what our age. Next week on American Mothers Mom to Mom podcast, I will be talking with Miranda Longacre Taylor and how she became a supportive bonus mom versus the wicked stepmother. You want to join us. And we appreciate that you joined us again today as we've connected, been inspired, and learned. And until next time, remember you are not alone. You've got an army of mothers all around you cheering you on. You have a great week. See you next week.